The Communist Chinese continue to ratchet up their aggression throughout the Pacific Asia region, and specifically now over the skies of Taiwan. Two of China's aircraft, the J-10 and X-8, and there you see them, entered Taiwan's airspace today and were chased away and warned by Taiwanese fighter jets. This is the fourth time that China has overflown Taiwan airspace over the course of the past 9 days. A top People's Liberation Army general recently said China could take Taiwan by force and must, quote, resolutely smash any separatist moves by the nation of Taiwan. Mike Pompeo is in Honolulu, Hawaii, to meet with China's foreign affairs head. That meeting scheduled for 3 p.m. Eastern. We have received absolutely no information about today's talks being held at Hickam Air Force Base. No details of the agenda of the talks, nor exactly who is attending that meeting. It's an extraordinary meeting in the regard that we know absolutely nothing about what is going on. And joining us tonight, and yes, that's right, I'm absolutely furious about that. Joining us tonight is Congressman Jim Banks, a member of the Republican China Task Force, as well as the House Armed Services Committee. He introduced bills to stop U.S. investment in China's military, as well as demanding reparations from China. Congressman, always good to have you with us. I want to get first your reaction to the idea that a meeting would be held. I guess we're supposed to send a thank you note to the administration that they would at least let us know that the meeting was being held. I mean, this is really outside the tradition of U.S. government foreign policy, particularly foreign policy meetings. It's outrageous. The public right to know is no longer a right in this country.
Well, Lou, what we do know is that the Chinese requested the meeting. Like you, I'm eager to hear how the meeting went between Secretary Pompeo and Chinese officials in Honolulu. Hopefully we'll learn here soon what happened, what was agreed to in that meeting. But the bottom line, and what gives me some comfort in knowing that President Trump has continue to get the attention of the Chinese, is that they requested the meeting. Secretary Pompeo, they're meeting with them soon. Like you, I look forward to hearing how it went.
Yeah, I admire the positivity you express, but I think it sort of ignores these flyovers of Taiwan, the aggression by China and the PLA throughout the South China Sea. I mean, it's becoming their lake. Let's be straightforward about this. This is not a president who wants it to be said that the South China Sea was lost to China in his presidency. This is outrageous conduct we are witnessing by China, period. Simple as it can be. And what we are seeing at every turn, whether it's killing 100,000 Americans, infecting 4 million people around, 8 million people around the world, 400,000 deaths around the world. There's not a single bloody damn response to any of it. Everything's just fine. Today on Capitol Hill, telling your colleagues, Robert Lighthizer, the U.S. Trade Representative, that decoupling from China is not a policy option for this administration? Are you kidding me? What in hell is there to be optimistic about? How in the world can we even account for ourselves being responsive to the aggression of this outrageous Xi Jinping-led China?
Not to mention, Lou, what's occurring on the China-Indian border at the moment as well. I spoke with the ambassador from India to the United States today and spoke with him about India standing up to China. And here's what he told me. He said, "We will not be bullied by China." And those were words that like you, I wish we would hear from more American leaders today for the same reasons. I mean, this is how a powerful authoritarian regime like China operates. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sitting here thinking General Milley, the chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, is more concerned by making rather noxious and untrue statements and apologizing for what? I mean, it's insane what the military has turned into, and it's swamping, if you will, this administration apparently.
I concur with you, Lou. Every bit of it. We know what China is up to. This is an authoritarian regime with global domination on their mind. That is their ambition. We can't turn a blind eye to it. The ambassador from India told me today they will not be bullied by China, and we shouldn't be bullied by China either. Like you, I can't believe what I heard from Ambassador Lighthizer today. It's not consistent with what this president has vowed to do in holding China accountable. What he's done recently to delist Chinese companies from the stock exchange, to ban Chinese students that are associated with the Chinese Communist Party, threatening sanctions and tariffs on China. This president has remained tough. Members of his administration at times have, like Lighthizer, have been inconsistent with that message. It's not acceptable. And I can't imagine that this president is pleased with what he heard from the ambassador before the Ways and Means Committee today.
One can't imagine it. One can't imagine that Lighthizer would have ever mouthed such words. The man that I thought I knew wouldn't have. Congressman Jim Banks, you get the last word here. At this juncture, where are we headed with China, in your judgment?
Well, we've got to be tough. We've got to hold them accountable. That's what the China task force is exploring, and exactly how we can do that. I can assure you that there are many members in the Republican conference in Congress who are studying ways that we can do exactly the opposite of what Lighthizer was saying that we're doing, and how we decouple the American economy from China so that we're not left to the whims of the Chinese authoritarian leadership's ambitions to dominate the United States of America any longer. That's what I'm committed to, Lou, and that's what I'll be focused on in the days and weeks to come in the Congress.
This is a president who is historic in large measure because he's kept his word and kept his promises and held faith with each of them. To see where he is right now, whether at the council of his senior advisors, clever fellows all, or simply a direct pipeline to Wall Street into the Oval Office, I don't know. But it is, there are storm clouds over that Oval Office right now. Congressman Jim Banks, good to have you with us. Thank you, sir.